Hey there, sweeties. So we back at it again, a little more enlisted. We gonna yeah. They got this little event going on. Actually started yesterday, and you get some pistols. So I was like, fuck it. Pistols are cool. So we're gonna go ahead and grind it out. We're gonna check out another Nate Hagen's video. I don't know if we actually finished the Thomas Crowther video. It says that I've only watched half of it, but I could have sworn I finished it. So I guess let's open that up and see where it is.
Inequitable distribution of wealth, it's still only going to lead to...
We'll just start over this whole section right in the middle called biocomplexity. But yeah, I could have sworn I finished this, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't. But ooh, here's a cool video. I keep getting very interesting videos from a gentleman named Richard J. Murphy, but I don't know who he is. He's a political economist and accountant. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Alright, so we're gonna start this and just start grinding, I guess. Let me just go ahead and queue real quick. Double check what we're doing. SMGs, alright. We'll probably do 2 matches and then call it a day. Yeah, let's start her up.
So I do remember reading something you wrote using the term biocomplexity. Oh. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think biocomplexity is the term that I use to get people past the confusion around biodiversity. In essence, when people think about biodiversity, they think about the number of species or they think about the number of trees. And both of those are oversimplifications that will cause more harm than good. The point about nature, the point about biodiversity is that its strength and its stability is in its complexity, its biological complexity across genetic levels, across species levels, and across ecosystem levels. You need genetic diversity within species, you need a diversity of species, and you need complex structured ecosystems that can support all of this. And so biocomplexity was a term that I started using quite recently to characterize that complexity of the system across those 3 levels. And if we have a healthy level of biocomplexity, we can then start to say this is an ecosystem that's getting back to its natural state.
In the one corner, we have biocomplexity.
Hey,
in the other corner, we have dollars and euros.
Oh, I didn't give me the big
and yen. It does seem to be like totally opposite goals for the long-term health of our planet and
that's not in mine.
Or perceived viability of our next quarterly economic system. But I agree with you. Biocomplexity is ultimately where it's all at in the intermediate and long term, for sure.
This is the crux of the whole problem. Individual parts of nature are more valuable than the biocomplexity of nature. So if that is the case, then we're always going to propagate those parts, which is ultimately the driving mechanism behind the creation of this seed biocomplexity index that I told you about. If we can have a measurement of that biological complexity, and then if we can build markets to value that biocomplexity, maybe there's the potential for those markets to actually propagate complexity over simplicity. This is the sort of the dream of the movement. Now, critics would say, and I, in all honesty, I probably agree with them in many ways, using the same broken economic system to try and fix everything will only cause more harm than good. Because if it drives inequitable distribution of wealth, it's still only going to lead to billions of people being trapped in an economy that doesn't allow, or where they're trapped in with no non-extractive alternatives. So the opposing argument is that we just need to distribute wealth more equitably to the local landowners and the stewards of nature, who are the ones that work with nature and who value biodiversity inherently. And these are the people who can transform our future.
And are there signs that that's happening? And do you have any information on the census in 2025 on trees? Is it increased from 3 trillion, or what kind of positive signs can you tell us?
The numbers still go down. We're still seeing massive deforestation, particularly in the tropics, all driven by external demand from the global north, requiring products that are leading to large-scale deforestation. But there are incredible signs of recovery in thousands of locations hundreds of thousands of locations across the planet. And what we are seeing is a slowing of the rate of deforestation, and we're seeing an increase in the rate of recovery.
Oh, hello.
So while things still are on a downward track, the trajectory of that track is changing. And what I'm really excited to see is that now every pledge that you hear about biodiversity at a climate conference or a biodiversity conference, every pledge is about the empowerment of local communities.
That's fucking bullshit.
Of indigenous populations. And through that lens, that is how we're
starting
going
to grind my
ecological
gears.
recovery right.
So in the last few years, as a follow-up to your call for a trillion trees, you and your lab developed a platform called Restore, R-E-S-T-O-R. Can you tell me about this platform and what was the vision for its creation, and where does it stand today?
Yeah, we branded it awkwardly, just removing that E just to make it complicated so that people might miss it. I'm glad you spelled it out. Restore it was born out of this unbelievable momentum in 2019. We had farmers and communities and indigenous populations literally emailing us, flooding us with emails asking for information about biodiversity, so information about the ecology of their system so they can restore it. And obviously we can't answer one by one, so we built this system to just share the world's ecological data with those people. But the emergent property of that was so much more valuable than the data that we were sharing, because what happened is hundreds of thousands of farmers and indigenous communities and local populations started delineating their areas, just drawing around their gardens, drawing around their farms, drawing around their regions of interest. And in the process, what actually formed is this incredible social media network. Hundreds of thousands of people showing exactly where they're doing conservation or restoration. And that formed the basis of a marketplace. So right now, today, Restore it's sort of like Google Maps, but instead of seeing hairdressers and shops, you see conservation projects, restoration projects, regenerative farms. And it's a place where you can go to source things. If you want to buy sustainable coffee and see the individual trees where that coffee comes from, or if you want to buy honey, or if you want to find an ecotourism holiday that's incredibly beautiful somewhere else in the world, and you can directly contact those people and engage. You can donate to them, you can buy their products, you can support them, you can go and volunteer. You can now, the environmental movement is just at your fingertips. It's for all those people out there who grew up being like, I wish I could just be involved in the movement. Now it's so simple.
It's a slight reframe with words. So you just said the environmental movement. Wouldn't you agree that a better moniker is the ecological movement, especially given your focus on biocomplexity and biodiversity? The environment to me seems like this is how humans are in the things that are around us, and the ecological movement to me seems like it's a system that we're embedded within.
I can buy into that. As an ecologist, I struggle to separate ecology from everything else. But you are very right. This is an ecological movement. It's a movement of plugging us all back into the ecological system. Every single one of us sits on chairs and wears clothes and eats food that we have no idea where it came from. I don't know if buying this helped the environment or hindered it, but I'm it's pretty likely that I hindered the environment by buying this T-shirt. But if I knew exactly where it came from,
oh, what the hell? Did the game fucking freeze?
Then there's the potential that I could choose the one.
You are joking, bro. Alright, Enlisted's been grinding my gears recently, man. I cannot believe that. Fucking shit. Not me opening Steam. Well, that's just great. That's actually awesome. Does Enlisted let you read? Supposedly it's possible to rejoin the match, so I'll try to do that. That's so annoying. It's crashed on me twice recently. It's super bad, honestly. Like, I've never had that problem. I've been playing this game for 3 years on PC. But here we are. Yeah, let me in. Let me in. Connection closed! Bitch, you are fucking me! And there's no option to, hey, rejoin. You're fucking me, dude. You're fucking me. Alright, very cool, Enlisted. Alright, how do I, keep this shit off of full screen? Because I think that's what's causing it when I'm tabbing out. It loves to crash. Let's see, is the stream working? It is. And we're doing the new map, so that's kind of cool. I guess. Conquest again. Ugh. Wait, this isn't the new map? I'm a fucking idiot. This is the ancient map. This one's been here for many moons. Even back prior to 2022 when I was playing this shit on my Xbox. Vintage map. But it's a good one. I do like it. Alright. Put the rally in here.
Allies are at control point Alpha. The enemy is capturing control point Charlie. Our team is at control point Bravo.
Man, that's so fucking annoying. I barely even got any progress on the daily. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, why would you drop the grenade? I'm gonna need your weapon. Oh, you fucking dick! Oh, good evening. Oh, shit, okay. Alright. Can't pull my pistol out while I'm reloading, I guess. That's weird. Yeah, look, I should just be able to pull it right out. What the hell? Weird it wasn't letting me. I guess I was hitting the wrong fucking button or something. Who fucking knows? Oh my gosh. Alright, we need to find an SMG. Oh. No one using SMGs? Alright. That's cool. Hey, best in the game, let's go. This guy doesn't look too happy about what's happening. Alright. So I'll go stash this bitch over yonder. Go press play on the video again.
like I could choose a product which looks like it's having a positive environmental footprint rather than a negative one. And once you start having that empowerment, it's unbelievable the feeling you can get. Just simply by buying a t-shirt or a thing of coffee, you can actually have a positive footprint on nature, and it just empowers people to engage in the ecological movement.
All right, so let's go to this website, restore.eco. So tell me what you mean by all this.
So yeah, if you log on, what you'll see is hundreds of thousands of points dotted around the world on a global map. And if you zoom into one of these points, you can see high-resolution imagery showing every single plant that's growing in that area of land. So this was an area that was drawn by a farmer called Desta, who grows coffee. This is someone on a project that I'm familiar with. It grows incredible coffee in Ethiopia. And what Desta gains for free, having drawn around his area, is he gets free ecological data, the information that we've calculated about the species that grow there, the amphibians and birds that might be able to live there, the carbon that's in the soil and the vegetation, the water dynamics, and all sorts of ecological insights. And that's really useful for his land management or his, choice of species.
Is this unidirectional, or can that person say, "Well, I found a new sort of salamander here that's not on your list"?
That is a very good point. They can share that information with us, and we can update those estimates from their thing. Because again, ours are only vague, ecological estimates from a research lab here in Switzerland. So when they update that information, that then adjusts the entire model so that the biodiversity data for all the other sites starts getting better too. But what's really useful to Desta is he also has all this information at the top. So he shows when he started, shows how long he's been working on the land, and he also shows his website where you can click and directly buy his coffee. So within 2 clicks, you are not only seeing his site, but you're able to buy
the
products from his
Ubres is
site.
doing that?
And
That's
what you can see quite clearly from Desta's site, if we zoom in, is that this is a full, intact, beautiful rainforest. This doesn't look like a degraded farm landscape that we're used to. This is a place where instead of removing the forests, he's actually planted the coffee trees underneath the canopy of an intact rainforest. And because the rainforest traps water and nutrients, he doesn't need fertilizers and irrigation like the farmers next door. So it's an example when nature is more profitable for Desta. The healthier nature is, the better his coffee plants grow and the better his profits are. So it's one of thousands of examples where healthy nature actually makes local people more money. And these are the projects we want to be sourcing all of our products from. If everything we bought came from a project like this, we would be having a positive footprint in every single purchase we make.
There's a
every day.
plane.
So
he's shooting at me too.
Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna try to draw a square around Red Wing, Minnesota.
He's quick. Oh yeah, he's probably gonna fuck me.
Square. And
where'd he go?
Could you analyze that for me and tell me what I'm looking at?
You're going to analyze it for
maybe
yourself.
we'll fuck him.
Well, it says there's 1,340
I fucking
potential
missed.
plants, 12 potential.
He fucking
amphibians,
died. What a
50
goober.
potential mammals, 160 potential birds.
All right. Maybe I
temperate
didn't miss.
broadleaf and mixed forests.
They did.
Current and potential carbon sequestration, organic carbon, above ground biomass. Holy crap! There's a lot of net primary productivity, which is tracked over time, and it's actually higher than it was 10 years ago, which is interesting. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Fuel evapotranspiration, land cover, tree cover.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
Tree cover. Interesting.
I guess let's capture
crap.
C.
So this is all data that comes from Google Earth, and your site integrates it?
It doesn't come from Google Earth. Well, some of them come from Google Earth, but most of them are from global ecological data sets. Global data sets that are published by academics around the world. So you see next to each one of the points, there's a little I button. If you click on that, you'll see where the source of data is, and you can read the paper and you can understand where it came from.
So here, global human modification, 0.51. How does that rate?
So
we're about to get fucked.
So if you click on I, what it'll describe is it's on a 0 to 1 rating. So 1 would mean I think it's in its complete intact state, and 0 would mean it's completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, the other way around actually. 0 means no modification, 1 means total
it's completely
modification.
destroyed, yeah. Human population within my square, 37,000. Within 10
Little son of a
kilometer
bitch.
buffer,
Let's put another one.
107,000. Within a 50 kilometer buffer, 2.3 million. Yeah, that
How the
that
fuck
all
did they
makes sense.
break that?
Wow, this is cool. So anyone can look at any place in the world where they live or where they're interested in and draw this up.
Yeah, exactly. You can go learn how big your garden is, learn how many species are in there, learn what the potential species are, and you can figure out how to manage the system in a cooler way. Or you can just go and find products to buy and engage in the movement that way. Just sort of an entryway into the environmental space.
So what are your, are there some particularly inspiring stories from your work on Restore other than...
Okay, let me run that back.
Academics around the world. So you see next to each one of the points, there's a little I button. If you click on that, you'll see where the source of data is, and you can read the paper and you can understand where it came from.
So here, global human modification, 0.51. How does that rate?
So human modification. So if you click on the I tab, what it'll describe is it's on a 0 to 1 rating. So 1 would mean I think it's in its complete intact state, and 0 would mean it's completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, the other way around actually. 0 means no modification, 1 means total
It's completely
modification.
destroyed, yeah. Human population within my square, 37,000. Within 10 kilometer buffer, 107,000. Within a 50 kilometer buffer, 2.3 million. Yeah,
that guy
all
sucks.
makes sense. Wow, this is cool. So anyone can look at any place in the world where they live or where they're interested in and draw this up.
Yeah, exactly. You can go learn how big your garden is, learn how many species are in there, learn what the potential species are, and you can figure out how to manage the system in a cooler way. Or you can just go and find products to buy and engage in the movement that way. Just sort of an entryway into the environmental space.
So what are
Holy
your,
shit, everything's
are there
blowing up.
some particularly inspiring stories from your work on Restore other than, you mentioned
what the
coffee
fuck?
place.
Bro's
What
in
other
this
things
crazy
have
ass
you discovered?
nook.
So what the overarching theme is, it is
Oh, fuck you
absolutely
guys. Oh my gosh.
staggering to see how many hundreds of thousands of people are actually making more money because nature's thriving. When nature makes you more money, you cannot stop it from growing across landscapes. Desta is an example where nature was making it more profitable, and that meant all the other farmers in the nearby landscape started doing the same thing, allowing trees to recover on their farms so that they have more profitable coffee. One of my favorite examples, though, is in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a sort of flagship example for the environmental world because the government around 30 years ago initiated their payment-free ecosystem service program. It's like many of the countries in Central America, they've had huge deforestation rates, and instead of allowing that to continue, the government distributed wealth to local farmers. They said, if you can protect the nature that we all depend on, we will give you money to compensate you for the financial losses. And there's been a big question mark over whether these things work or fail. But what's staggering is Costa Rica, the government agreed to share every single one of those sites with Restore. So if you go to Restore into Costa Rica, you'll see thousands and thousands of these little shapes around individual smallholder farmers. And that meant we were able to measure the biodiversity in those shapes. And we actually had a PhD student go out with a sound recording device, sticking it to trees across Costa Rica. And the incredible thing he found is that across these sites, this distribution of wealth actually restored the soundscape of the ecological system to about 86% of its natural recovery. So if you imagine that 30 years ago, all of these sites would have been degraded pastures or the places where forests had been removed for grazing. And if you compare the soundscape of the payment-free ecosystem service sites, you'll see that 86% of the intact soundscape of the rainforest had returned in those 30 years. And the amazing thing about that story is it corresponded with direct economic growth for the entire country. For anyone who ever goes to Costa Rica, it's crystal clear that nature is a fundamental part of their cultural identity. Every business seems to be promoting biodiversity. Every smoothie shop seems to be nature positive. The ecotourism industry is absolutely booming because people go there because of their love of nature. And that improvement in biodiversity has led to a massive improvement in the economic situation for Costa Rica. And it's a perfect example of how nature can become the economic choice at a national scale. If we can just have other governments doing the same thing, who knows what might happen.
So this is an example of like a dead whale is worth $1 million and a live whale is worth nothing.
Yeah, I definitely watched this already.
It's a way to put our values into our economic choices. But if we somehow have economic growth and we get more dollars or whatever the currency is in Costa Rica, then we spend it on refrigerators and air conditioners and other things. So there still is an environmental impact if we grow. Yes?
Actually, so there's something the model that you've just described is called the environmental Kuznets curve. It's this assumption that as people get more money and get more developed, we'll buy more stuff up to a certain point, and then we're rich enough, and then we stop, and then that falls. Recent evidence has suggested that actually that Kuznets curve is completely wrong. The biggest driver of degradation on the planet is inequality. We've got a small number of people with massive environmental footprints, and then billions of people, the people who live in direct association with nature, they are trapped with no non-extractive alternatives. They are forced to live in an economy where they have to plant eucalyptus trees outside so that they can get paper, because the only economy will fund them for that. Those are the people for whom, if nature can be the economic preference,
weird, I can't
if
use
there can
my
be
fucking
an economic
truck.
alternative with
my truck
with
there
healthy
for
nature,
3 fucking
these are the people who know
centuries.
best how to find the regenerative options and the sustainable options whereby nature always thrives. There is no single location on the planet where a
somebody was
degraded
just
ecosystem
sitting
is
in
more
it,
valuable
being a
to the
fucking
local
asshole.
people than a recovering one. We just need to
our whole team is
balance
fucking
that
butt sauce,
inequity
golly.
and find and lift these people out of poverty, and they have the power to find regenerative solutions.
Oh, jeez.
Now the curve gets complicated after that, but at the beginning, at the poorest ends of our economy, these are the people that need to be lifted out of poverty so that nature can do better.
Well, in a broader context as well, we're headed into what I call the bottlenecks of the 21st century. And there's the macro biophysical scale of how big can our global economy be. Right now it's between 19 and 20 terawatts of continuous energy and materials being accessed. But the other is the ecological carrying capacity of the planet and other places. And this work that you're describing, take an agnostic, the biophysical throughput for the moment, it will help
you son of a bitch! I should have been ready. Why did I do that?
Ecosystem destruction, and so from there we can regenerate. So
spawn point's not active.
Tell me some
Why,
stories
bro?
on the potential for Earth to regenerate
so weird. It was
our
fine.
ecosystems.
I guess it got
you
too
don't
close.
hear
I don't
about that a
fucking know.
lot, and it seems that the opposite is happening.
Well, we lost this match.
I have
Holy
heard
shit.
stories that if we stop fishing in the some of the 7 world fisheries, that in like a decade, fish can recover almost completely, with the exception of the huge, large fish. But tell me some stories about the ability for Earth to regenerate on the issues we've discussed.
The regeneration capacity of nature is unbelievable. It is so much faster and more efficient and more, I want to say,
what a match. What a match.
inspiring than I think most of us understand. You know, there's examples like Chernobyl. You know, after the Chernobyl disaster, people moved away. Within a decade, nature's already recovering. Within a couple of decades, we're already seeing large predators moving through the landscape. Wolves are coming back. You see the natural ecological balance falling back into place as soon as humans stop degrading the ecosystem. These are things that happen unbelievably quickly after these kinds of disasters.
Right, but are they only because of disasters?
No, there's plenty of other examples too. So there's one of my favorite examples is in I think it's the Ibera wetland in Argentina, where they simply the reintroduction of jaguars into a system was built to regulate capybara population. So there's massive numbers of capybaras grazing all the grasslands, grazing all the vegetation. Reintroduction of those predators. almost immediately rebalance the system into one where wetlands could recover, thousands of species of birds could exist, the entire system recovers. You'll see so often with ecological systems, you just make one little tweak, you just recover the top predators, or you remove the grazing pressure, and this system will recover. Another example is Yellowstone National Park, the reintroduction of wolves, and how quickly the entire landscape completely transforms. And obviously my favorite stories always involve the people too. When local people are economically empowered by nature, that's when it'll recover so much better. There's this incredible movement called the FMNR movement. It's the farmer-mediated natural regeneration in across a range of countries in sub-Saharan Africa. And it's incredible. These are places where desertification is a huge environmental pressure, but also increasingly degradative farming systems have led to a complete destruction of the soil. So farmers are having to move away, they're having to move out of the countryside, they're having to move towards cities, and it's contributing to other socioeconomic problems all over the continent. These are places where simply the management of local trees can actually improve the fertility of soils, and farmers are able to then stay and make more sustainable livelihoods across thousands of hectares of land, stopping the desertification and increasing food production at the same time as improving biodiversity across the landscape. So when people are economically empowered by the recovery of nature, that's when it just spreads like wildfire and you can't stop it.
Well, let me put you on the spot here, Tom. I've had many population ecologists
what the hell happened
on the show, and many people are quite confident that we are not yet in, but on the verge of a sixth mass extinction. Do you think that's the case? And if so, is it still avoidable if we come to our senses and do some of the things that you've been suggesting?
I think it's a fact that we're on the verge of a sixth mass extinction. I think we are causing a loss of biodiversity at a rate that is almost unprecedented for a biological transfer. You know, we're a single species causing this.
Oh,
this
come
loss.
on, baby!
It's
You son of a bitch.
and it's difficult to imagine the world that will result if we continue on this trajectory. That said, I do not believe that we're continuing on this trajectory. I may be in a completely biased and narrow-minded world, which I certainly am, but I get to work every day with these farmers and indigenous communities who are saving nature and getting more money for it, which empowers them to save more nature, and then they bring in more stability. And when you see that happening, the transformation of livelihoods and the transformation of nature shows that people and nature can thrive together. And if these concepts can spread, I truly believe that in every single location on the planet, there is a solution where nature can become the economic preference.
I thought I was in that building already. What a fool.
Most of them, but I believe that it is possible to find it in every location on the planet. And if we can lean into that, I do believe there's the potential for these positive feedbacks to build a better world. We're still going in a bad direction, but we can build a better one. So
I'm proud to claim that a great number of the viewers of this show deeply care about nature. So following up on your point you just made, what specific pieces of advice do you have for individuals who want to aid their local ecosystems in creating more biodiversity?
I mean, my simple answer is go on Restore, find some local project, buy all of their products and improve the world with all your purchases. But I think genuinely my deeper and more sort of systematic answer is
blew me
to
the hell up.
Try to enjoy the process. I personally am very privileged that I love nature, I love working with nature, and that empowers me to work more with nature. But this is simply happening through a positive feedback loop. And if you can find a positive regenerative action that brings you more joy, more health, more comfort, more saves you money, that makes you more money, there are so many ways that the regenerative option can be profitable to you or helpful for you. And if you can find that, the benefit that comes with it is incredible, and it can't help from building these kind of positive feedback loops where you'll do it more, which means it'll get easier, and then others around you will do it more, and that will get easier. So there's no individual action to take, but I feel like the process of enjoying the fight against biodiversity loss is the best way that we're going to succeed.
So we have some mutual friends who have shared with me that you are a very accomplished wildcrafter. You want to say any words about that?
My life is all about bushcrafting. The second I discovered, I grew up obsessed with sports and tennis and kite surfing and football. And I went from hobby to hobby to hobby, and when I discovered sitting in a forest and whittling a little knife or a spoon and eating some food that I gathered from nature, I've never gone back. It's taken over my entire life, and I think it stems from some deep evolutionary appreciation for the feeling of
that was
fire without matches. You cannot avoid the feeling of satisfaction that comes with something that our ancestors would have benefited from so much. And I think it's just baked into our evolution that you can't not love that.
I think I would love that. I just don't think I could do it. How many fires have you started without matches in your life?
I'm telling you, I was so bad 5 years ago. I couldn't survive a night in the forest. But YouTube is unbelievable. There are loads of videos, and I don't like learning. I'm dyslexic. I wasn't good in like school listening to lectures, but just watching these guys on YouTube, it's the most entertaining TV ever. And in the process, you learn bits and bobs, and you get to go through it. I've now built thousands of fires without matches. It's the most satisfying thing when you can get a spark to ignite a fire, or when you can like rub two sticks together and get an ember. It's game changing. You'll never go back.
So you live in Zurich right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you find somewhere in Zurich to go bushcraft?
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about Switzerland is wherever you are, in whatever city you are, you're never more than 30-minute walk from a little patch of forest. And yeah, deep in the forest, I've built my little house, my little hut, and my little chair, and I just sit there whittling fires. It's incredible.
So what are next steps for you?
Yeah, that was a little
there
bold.
seems to be, from what I've heard, an unfriendly parting with ETH Zurich. But according to the Swiss media, it appears you've been treated
let's get a
quite
swap point up.
unfairly,
We're not doing too great.
but are now exonerated. Would you be willing to give a summary and what's next for you?
Yeah, I have recently been through arguably the most devastating phase of my life.
This fucking trench.
I'll put it this way. Our research group is uncharacteristically big. We had 60 people perpetually in this research group. And honestly, as a young professor, my ambition and my dream and my philosophy was, if I'm best friends with everyone, friendship will be the foundation for all great things, and we'll do incredible stuff. And in all honesty, in most ways, that was exactly true. I think these close friendships and socializing built incredible foundation for research. But unfortunately, as I've grown older, I've come to realize that also causes complications when it comes to authorship positions or salary renewals. Really close friendships can cause complications. And unfortunately, towards the end of my time at ETH, a small group of people raised a number of issues and accusations about my leadership. Unfortunately, the media has sort of cleared a lot of that up, but it led to a very difficult sort of phase, and we've agreed to part ways between myself and the university. So the Crowd Lab will be moving on to our next destination that I'll be announcing sometime soon.
And what do you really want to do next 5 to 10 years?
Next 5 to 10 years, I want to get fundamental biodiversity information into our economic systems and into our political systems. At the moment, people are making decisions about nature without any information about the fundamentals that underpin it. So if we can get that biocomplexity information into everyone's score sheets and into everyone's term sheets and into everyone's recording of the state of the planet, then we'll have decisions that are built around the protection of this incredible stuff.
Oh my God! What in the fuck, man?
I'm all for that. If you have
some
additional few minutes, I have some questions that I ask all of my guests. You and I, in our brief interactions, have largely talked about ecology and biodiversity, but you're clearly aware of what some call the human predicament or the meta crisis. What specific recommendations do you have for people being alive during these times, being aware of all the things that we face?
I just cannot get a break.
My answer might be, to some people, it's going to be vague and unspecific. To others, I think it might be a mindset shift. There are no
Oh my
individual
God.
actions that I would pull out above any other. Every single action
Oh
you
my
make every day,
God, the
every single
Obrez
purchase we
again.
make every
Why
day
is the Obrez
has a
good
footprint
now?
on the world, which means every action we take
They got
has
me
the
fucked
potential
up.
to have a positive footprint.
I
think
never had the
real
Obrez
challenge
be
that we
useful.
have to get our heads around is how to enjoy the process. Somehow,
Let's put this down.
climate action and biodiversity action needs to stop being a chore. It needs to be an opportunity. The anxiety is completely natural, but it only drives inaction. But if we can wake up in the morning and feel thrilled to buy that vegetarian burger instead of the meat burger, or excited to
There's the Obrez again, dude. That thing is like instant killer. What the hell, man?
Than Starbucks. We're gonna build a feedback
come
loop
on.
of positivity that will drive more and more positive action.
And how do you, as a professor, that you teach, in addition to your research?
No way! There he
you
goes
obviously
again, the
had
little
students,
fuck.
over the years. What sort of advice
I'm
do you
not
give to
spawning
young
there
humans,
anymore.
18 to 25?
We'll do an
who are
airborne deployment.
learning
There we
about
go.
all
We'll just land on the fucking
hurdles
roofs.
that we face.
So
Perfect.
what
I
I'm
don't have to
trying
deal with none of that
to
shit.
get across is the environmental crisis that we're facing is not a result of bad people making intentionally bad decisions. I truly believe this. I do believe on the planet that every single person is making the best decisions they can given the context of understanding that they have. The problem that we're facing is an economic system that undervalues nature, that undervalues the system that we depend on. It values parts that build their own positive feedback loops at the expense of the system that we depend on. And it drives inequality, which causes mass degradation. So fighting the environmental crisis doesn't necessarily require hate and aggression. It requires that we find the solutions to distribute wealth towards those local people who are the people protecting nature. And this sounds like a wishy-washy thing, but there are so many financial mechanisms.
You
Debt
fucks.
cancellation, cash transfer
Dude, that guy
programs,
sucks
payment
dick.
for ecosystem service programs.
Alright,
even things
alright,
like
alright.
wealth distribution mechanisms like universal basic income. Things like this have the potential, I'm not saying they will, but they have the potential to drive massive ecological recovery at the same time as
Alright,
lifting
we
people out
gotta-
of poverty.
What do you care most about in the world, Tom?
We gotta do
Honestly,
something.
the beauty of wilderness and the biodiversity that supports it. I just feel overwhelming pain and agony when I see ecosystems being lost and when I see the animals being displaced, and everything I want in the world is to stop this destruction.
Well, if you had a magic wand and there was no personal recourse to you, what is one thing you would do to improve human and planetary futures?
Ooh, that's a nade.
Flamethrowers on the backs of all the wild animals to protect themselves. Again, this is probably going to sound like a very wishy-washy answer, but having come back from a meditation retreat with you, I would say I would like everyone on the planet
I have one of
to be able
these.
to come together into a mindfulness meditation retreat and actually experience the spectacle of our interconnected beings, the spectacle of our awareness together. And I swear 99% of our antagonism would diffuse into a system where we have more empathy.
I'm not sure 99%, but I think a lot of it would. And much more to say on that topic in the future. It was a big shift in awareness, wide boundary awareness. So if you were to come back on this show in 6 months or a year, you are kind of an ecological polymath of sorts. What is one topic that we didn't discuss today that is relevant to human and planetary futures that you would be willing to take a deep dive in because you're passionate about it?
So
You
the
fucking
topic that
me.
I'm
Damn, they got me
allocating all
fucked
mine
up with
into
all
in the
them
coming months,
vehicles.
I'm calling it nature's limits. So if you imagine,
Oh, hey, what's up,
when
Jack
the
of
EU
Spades? That is a
announced their EU restoration law,
fantastic.
farmers were marching in the streets saying,
Hold
no,
on.
don't protect.
That is a fantastic emoji, bruh. Yeah, it's been a while. How are you? I've been like off enlisted because I haven't really been doing too much. Oh my. Well, I'm flattered. Oh boy. Might have opened my chute too early. Yeah, we're getting our cheek. Yeah, speaking of clapping, we're getting our shit clapped right now, bro. Absolute massacre. Oh, and it's that fuck. Oh, it's an artillery strike this time. Well, one guy lived. That's pretty good. Holy shit, we capped it. We're not out of the running yet. But we definitely will be at this next point. Oh my gosh, there's that tank. Alright. What should we even do about that? I guess we'll try knocking him out. And true. Yeah, they got me fucked up. They got layers that have having me fucked up. Because they just haven't had any good events going on. And then I didn't know about the removal of gold orders. Nobody told me that. Like, they were like, oh, we posted it in the updates and shit. I was like, y'all couldn't have just had like a big ass like, hey, this is happening button. So I lost like 10 gold orders. I was pretty bummed about that. Doing all that grinding for nothing. That's pretty cool. Speaking of nothing, those bombs did not do enough. Oh goodness. Oh goodness me. Oh fuck. This ain't good. Oh, you sons of bitches. They gon'. Oh, hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Whoop, whoop, I'm stuck. Oh, what the fuck? What the hell? Alright. Oh, he right there still. Oh, gosh. Okay. Damn. Such is life. Yeah. Yeah, I even knew about the store coming back, and like they had everything in the store again, and I was like, oh, that's sweet of them. I can get the 30-round Gewehr again. That's awesome. I was like, yay. I didn't know that was it. I thought it was just like, here's our stuff while you're waiting for the next update. Like, it literally could have just said, hey, you will lose all your shit, and I'll be like, ah, thanks. I will buy 4 of everything. But nope. And then people in the forums were being butthurt too. They were like, you guys shouldn't be bitching. They told us months in advance. Like, all right, Buster. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, that was bad. And I didn't even kill the tank. What a world. Damn. In the arms of the angel. Most of the community managers got fired. What's the tea? What the hell happened? Also, sorry it freezes every time I tab out to check the chat. I don't have chat open on my phone because I assumed no one would swing by. But yeah. I guess while we're waiting for that to end, I'll just be tabbing out and I'll Google it. Enlisted community manager fired. Interesting. Apparently Gaijin wants to move away from actual engagement with the community to just marketing effectively, which, you know, again, that makes sense. It's the way of all companies. Think about what happened with fucking Bungie. Bungie's like a microcosm of everything wrong with gaming as a Oh man, we didn't get 120 yet. Oh, well I guess we'll do one more. Semi-auto, yeah, that's fine. And then how many? Yeah, we got that. Alright, we literally just need semi-auto kills. That's cool. Yeah, my hand's about to hurt though. We've been playing for how long? Oh, only 49 minutes. Wait, slowly shutting down enlisted development? Ow! Ow! Well, still, that's... Damn, that's actually fucked up. No, they're killing enlisted already? I guess that's what... I guess they just were like, well, everyone hated our decision to remove build orders. Let's just kill the game. Damn. Damn. That sucks, man. Enlisted was good. I'm guessing it'll probably keep going for a few years. Damn, I can already hear my friends roasting me because Enlisted's dying. They're gonna be like, oh, you mean the game that sucked balls? They fucking hate Enlisted, dude. Alright, let's see. Put this shit over here. Looks like a fine spot. Yes, yes, yes. Kinda sucks to be getting a semi-auto daily, and I'm on Japan. I feel like they kind of have the... They have good weapons, don't get me wrong, but compared to the other ones, I don't think they're as good. Ooh. Son of a bitch. Fuck it, let's just get on the gun. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, they got this shit looking like Fort Knox. Alright, 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 alright. That kind of sucks. They did all that fucking work changing it over to the new the BR system and all that other bullshit. Just to kill the game? Did they like just do A/B testing and they were like, well, this is more addictive. Let's just do this and then let it fizzle out. It's honestly so weird that they did it anyway. I loved the campaign system. I definitely understood that it was a little cluttered with 6 whole different campaigns. That, yeah, that's kind of excessive, but I always thought that they were doing this BR shit because they were gonna add more. Now here you are saying the development's switching up. Oh man. Fucking goofy, honestly. Oh jeez, hello. Hey buddy. Oh, you son of a bitch! Damn, I thought... Alright. Oh, that's my... Whoops, oh my god. Okay. Oh, where's the damn... There it is, okay. Damn, I'm stupid. Yeah, I could almost leave this match. I do not want to use the Japan SMGs. They take 2 shots. Mark tank.
The enemy's trying to capture our control point.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter about getting the dailies anyway. I think there's only 13 days left in this season, and I've literally done nothing. So. Oh shit! Oh, I should have spawned as these guys. What was I doing? What was I doing? Alright. Here, let's get in this bitch. Also, my humblest apologies for not checking chat in 3 years. Hold on. Eh! Oh, this guy's so slow. Oh. Alright, let's check chat. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Darkflow does, because I genuinely think they are a good studio as far as things go. But, and a Gaijin Tarkov game, honestly, like, I know Gaijin sucks, but there's a part of me that's like, that's interesting. Like, I do kind of want to see it. But yeah, it's so weird. It makes me sad they didn't just stick with the campaign the way it was. Like, everything could have just stayed how it was, and we'd be all better for it. Oh, does he see me? Yes, he does. Oh fuck! Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, we gotta hang out. Woo! Oh, there's a lot of dudes. Shit. Oh! I hate these Tommy guns. They fire so quick and have no... Oh. Shit. Okay. What are we doing now? Let's do the truck. The dictators is stressing, dude. I wonder if those things can fuck up this vehicle. The bombers. This point kind of sucks too. It's fun to defend, but you have to run up to it every time. It's like, bleh. Oh, I'm gonna get blown the hell up. Oh, somehow I didn't. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Damn! Alright. What is doing that? A howitzer? Bruh. Okay. Oh, look at him go. this. No. You kidding? Damn, this sucks dick. Over here with 18 kills, bruh. Oh! I feel like that howitzer is gonna slam me. Oh! Should have ran away. What a fool. Damn, this match stinks, bruh. We've had some just butt sauce matches back to back. That's unfortunate. Alright. I'm gonna put that little thing I was listening to back on. Let's see.
You are kind of a ecological polymath of sorts. What is one topic that we didn't discuss today that is relevant to human and planetary futures that you would be willing to take a deep dive in because you're passionate about it?
So, the topic that I'm allocating all my energy to in the coming months, I'm calling it Nature's Limits. So, if you imagine, you know, when the EU announced their EU restoration law, farmers were marching in the streets saying, no, don't protect more nature, we need our agriculture to be safe. As an ecologist, I completely empathize with that perspective, but I must tell you that it's driven by a misconception of nature. We need nature so that we can have agriculture. So there's a gradient of degradation. If you go from a fully intact ecosystem, you need to remove some nature to get forests, to get agriculture. But once you've removed enough, that line will start dipping in the other direction. And we can now calculate the tipping point for every single country on the planet. And we can say exactly when you start depleting nature and it will start depleting your agricultural yields. And if we can calculate that exactly, we can then have the data to show those farmers and the policymakers exactly how much more nature you need to get on your country so that you can maximize your agricultural outputs. Because there's no way we'll have agriculture in a world where we don't have nature. We fundamentally need to find the balance between the two.
Let's do that. That sounds fascinating. Thank you for your time and your
another
important work in the world. Do you have any closing comments for our viewers, Tom Crowther?
I think we've covered almost everything other than just get out in nature and love it. That's the only way to do it.
Thanks so much, Tom. To be continued.
Thanks so much.
That damn howitzer.
If you enjoyed or learned from this episode of The Great Simplification, please follow us on your favorite podcast platform. You can also visit thegreatsimplification.com for references and show notes from today's conversation.
Are they taking it?
And to connect with fellow listeners of this podcast, check out our Discord channel.
Guess they're not taking it. Well, that's awesome. I thought they were going to take it for sure. I was like, well, let's go ahead and spawn. Yeah, this is like a put you to sleep match. Jesus. Alright, well, I'm going to go run to the restroom. And, yeah. still not over. Honestly, I might just go ahead and AFK now. We still got the 8 semi-auto kills, I guess. Well, I get it again. It doesn't even matter if I get those or not. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and head out. You still here, Jack? Well, if you are, appreciate you for swinging by. Yeah, I'm gonna go do production.